So apparently, Piers Morgan has he's come out with some videos in the last 8 hours or so to reveal the racist royals named in Omid Scobie's book Endgame. And I was surprised, in fact. First I would say that, I've tried to shift my focus away from this subject matter because I find a lot of it so toxic and there's no real end game for this line of conversation for some of these people. It's like they want it to go on into perpetuity, sort of the way they hated um, Edward's wife, the American socialite Wallace Simpson, into perpetuity. And, Marie Antoinette into perpetuity, that they're going to hate her into perpetuity. And so I said to myself, do you want to continue into perpetuity with this kind of, you know, conversation and, responding to every sort of toxic storyline that these people come up with and so on and so forth? And I realized, no, I don't want to spend my day every day doing that, which is why I stopped focusing exclusively on Meghan and Harry, because so much of the story is a reaction to things that people are saying, and not so much to what Meghan and Harry are actually doing in their lives. And I said, I only want to focus on what Meghan and Harry are actually doing, what they're actually saying, and I don't want to respond to anybody else's statements, opinions, and videos and so on, especially folks like Piers Morgan, who, in my opinion, completely lacks objectivity in this situation, and he has a personal axe to grind. So I don't trust his journalistic um, position on this, if I can even call it journalistic. Let's put that in quotes. So I've been avoiding, and then I kind of just want to focus on Paris for a little bit, as I've been doing. And I understand it's not as popular a topic for many people as this unending war between Meghan and Harry and the royal family. People like war. People like conflict. They like gossip. I mean, it's just human nature. So I don't fault anybody for it, but it's just like I just wanted to switch anyway, and I have for the most part. But I did say in my About Us page that I will continue to talk about Meghan and Harry when I deem it necessary and appropriate, and when something happens to deserve or merit a video, on my YouTube channel. And but that didn't include, anything having to do with Piers Morgan, because I mean, again, I just lost respect for him a year ago or so when I realized that, this guy claimed to have been a friend of Megan's. And I just feel like you can be angry with your friends, but you can't sort of unrelentingly put them in a sewer in public the way that he has, just because they hurt your feelings. And I so I can't believe I'm actually doing a video about Piers Morgan. But apparently he revealed the racists, quote unquote, the racists, in Omid Scobie's book, which was taken off the Dutch bookshelves because it actually named who allegedly had issues with the skin color of Meghan and Harry's children, right? That person allegedly was concerned that Meghan and Harry's children, whoever they turn out to be, as it stands, they're Archie and Lily, would be too dark for the monarchy, would make the monarchy look bad, look like it's not really superior, it's not worthy of being, the monarchy, because you've got all these dark skinned people walking around with the royal family, which is unprecedented. And what are we going to do with that? And so Meghan had said in her Oprah interview that someone in the family or certain individuals in the family had some concerns about that, like, oh my God, are they going to be kind of quote unquote black, or how black are they going to be? And I think the word was dark. Okay, she didn't say black. She said, how dark were they going to be? And so the person who actually said that was not revealed. Meghan did not say who it was in the interview, but several British journalists have always claimed to know, including Piers Morgan and Dan Wootton, who I believe is no longer working as a journalist in UK. But now that Omid Scobie's book came out on the Dutch shelves, and he basically apparently well, not he, but whoever wrote the Dutch version, because it's a translation, revealed the names of the two parties who apparently and allegedly had issues with Meghan's child's or children's skin color. That's before Archie and Lily showed up looking quote unquote lily white. And as it turns out, according to the author, it's Kate Middleton and King Charles. And I'm surprised. I'm not going to lie. King Charles, not so much. But Kate, I didn't think she had anything to do with that. But now that I've heard the story, everything sort of makes sense. Now it's like she really just has an issue. I never understood the way she responded to Meghan as a girl, from a girl perspective. We're both girls. We're in the same situation together. We're married to these brothers who are princes. We are both young. We both wear clothes. We both are stylish. We're both this. We're both that. Why are we not BFFs? Like, why are we not playful and, going shopping and working together on our causes and, finding out, what each other is wearing and giggling and da da da. Why is that not happening? It didn't seem natural to me. And I couldn't believe it, but I thought, my God, are you serious? Is Kate really like this? Like, is this how she is? I couldn't believe it because I always liked Kate, as I said, before Meghan showed up. I mean, from the outside, I don't know her, so how can I really like her? But from the outside, she seemed like a nice girl, open-minded. She's a millennial, I think, right? So she's like not old and, with these old-fashioned ideas about people and groups and races and stuff like that. And so I was really, really shocked by how, she just didn't seem to even give Meghan a chance, just give her a chance to get to know her and, be friends. And, and so, with the bridesmaids' dresses and making Meghan cry and letting everybody believe that Meghan made her cry, I thought that was like, to make someone cry on their wedding day and complain about the bridesmaids' dresses the way Kate allegedly did. And then this person starts crying, which any normal human being would start crying. I mean, it's your wedding, for God's sake. And then you let everybody believe that this person made you cry. This is more than mean. I mean, it's cruel, it's just like cruel. It's just cruel. So now that it's been revealed that Kate is the one who said that, when you put that in that context, you realize, oh, wow. I mean, this is really like a deep thing, I mean, she really has, if all of this is true, she has serious issues with race and color, I think. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, some people do. And some people don't think it's an issue. They just think it's just the way it is. And also just the blatant, copying everything Meghan wears was not. They say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but that's not flattery. That jumped, the tracks to something else. That was like not just intimidation, but it's like it's just not nice, it's just not nice. And but still, I'm surprised. I'm really, really surprised by Kate because I really liked her when she became a princess and she married William when Harry was still single. And I really thought it was Camilla who said it because Camilla strikes me as, and I don't know Camilla, so it was a judgment, as more of the one potentially to be a loose lips kind of a woman, just saying whatever she feels. But I had her completely wrong, and I'm so sorry. It was not Camilla. According to Piers Morgan, it was Kate. Now, as far as King Charles, I mean, this is his grandson, and so he was allegedly concerned about the skin tone of his own grandson. At first, I'm like, but you're a grandpa. But I think I'm way past that argument now about him being a grandpa, just based on everything that has happened in the interim. I don't think he analyzes things in that way from the standpoint of a grandpa. The fact that Harry is his son and these children are his grandchildren does not factor into his calculus at all where this whole story is concerned. The only thing that matters is the monarchy and the system of the monarchy and keeping that system in place at any cost and not doing anything or allowing anyone to do anything that in any way could potentially undermine public confidence in the system of the monarchy. I mean, he is absolutely petrified that having Black people, frankly, in the monarchy, in the upper echelons of the British aristocracy, and putting that to the British people as being quote unquote superior, which is what the monarchy is supposed to be, is superior to them. It is the very top of humanity in their opinion, right? Just right one step on the God. And he can't have anything threaten that. And what could possibly be more threatening than to have DNA from humanity that has always been not just the lowest, but in some centuries it wasn't even humanity. It was below humanity, right? And so that's how he thinks of this, is that he has to protect the monarchy at any cost because he's going to pass this to his son William, and William has to support it because William inherits the monarchy. And if that comes tumbling down because of who Harry marries, or because Harry brings in children that are just too Black, I mean, with all due respect, right? I mean, luckily for Harry, his children look, as I said, lily white, but they could have come out looking more like Doria, Meghan's mom, and her side of the family. It just would not have been the look that either the British people or even the rest of the world have come to embrace as being superior, because you have to understand the monarchy rests on this fundamental principle that the king is superior, the queen is superior. This is the very top that you can be as a human being, and you're asking them to accept that the very lowest of the humanity, according to them, according to their definition, they coined these phrases Black and white in the first place, that they now have to accept, humanity that has always been considered below them, and in some parts of history, not even human, as being superior to them, as being the monarch, as being the kings and princes, and so on. They could not accept that, and they could not risk that, and that is why King Charles had to cut Harry loose. He cut him loose because of who he married and the potential for what they will bring in terms of offspring and heirs to the British throne. So, is that racist? Well, I'm not going to put a word on it. I mean, I would leave that to you to decide what it is. I'm just analyzing it from, why would he even have these kinds of sentiments in the first place? Never mind to voice them out loud. And I think it's all about the monarchy. And if watching The Crown, you can get the sense that it's always a very urgent preoccupation of the British monarch and the royal family is public opinion, public sentiment. I mean, nothing can be done that's going to, make the people doubt the necessity of continuing with the monarchy, right? I mean, what's going to do that more than, having dark skinned people, quote unquote, black, parading as kings and princes and heirs to the throne. And why? Because people have been taught for generations and generations and generations that some people are inferior. I mean, it's really just the way it is. And people don't want to hear it anymore, but it still to this day resonates, especially in some situations and contexts, right? And that's why we even have a concept of some people being privileged. The idea that you even have a concept where this person is privileged should tell you everything. It means that there are others who are not. And that's all based on skin. It's based on color, right? And so this is something that's still very much a part of the thinking of, I think, everyone on the planet at this point, not just, you know, white people in England or black people in Africa. It's the whole world thinks this way and have accepted this and have even accepted this black and white dichotomous thinking in relation to these two groups of people. I mean, they're the only two groups, think about it, that are described by a color. You don't talk about red people and yellow people, that's rude. But the black people and the white people, this is a construct from the British monarchy and their cohorts who also have monarchies. And this continues to inform how we interact with each other in the world. And that is why King Charles could not have, a quote unquote black person as being in line to the throne and walking around with the royal family at, family gatherings and waving to the people. The people are going to wave back, yes, but they're going to be simmering. They're going to be going home and talking about it. And eventually the whole thing could unravel because that is just the construct in which we live. But again, I'm surprised by Kate. She seemed younger, more sort of, I just assume because she's younger that she's not, she doesn't have this kind of thinking. So it's disappointing, but, you know, it's life. It's life. What can you do, right? What can you do?